This is from Justin Joseph. Again, historical, this is old, a year old or so. After the end of the Second Vatican Council, Pope Paul VI made a statement that the smoke of Satan has entered the Church. Can you explain what the Pope meant by that? Justin, I have I've heard that Pope Paul, that one of the popes said this, and I think it was Paul VI. I don't want to endorse it straight away because I have not seen it myself, but I've heard, so it's likely. But I want to tell you also to put your mind and heart at rest. Pope Paul VI he says after the council, does not, and I can say categorically, is not saying certainly that is because of the council. The council, Pope Paul VI was the Pope of the council. I was very junior, I was a seminarian when he came, possibly to this very office from where I'm speaking, because he came to Bombay for the Eucharistic Congress, and I saw him when I was a student in Rome. He was much, I didn't meet him, saw him, but some years back, I was invited by his family to his house to pay a return visit to where he is from, Brescia, and I did go there. I said Mass in the cathedral there on the feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, I think. But the important thing is I got to know the family and got to see how holy a person he was, how much work he did for the Church, how he spent himself. He loved and worked for the council, directed the council, and his whole pontificate, Justin, was implementing the council. Synod of Bishops was his, many of the institution. After the 16 documents of the Vatican Council, he gave many instructions himself of how to implement it. So it certainly would not seem to imply that as some might think that he meant that. No, Vatican was certainly something he loved very much, Vatican Council, and even now Pope Francis very often now refers to the Vatican Council. Synodality, we referred to the Vatican Council. Smoke of Satan has entered the Church. I've heard this, and it is true. Satan always tries, the devil tries to create problems everywhere. Wherever there's good being done, there are always difficulties. And if there are no difficulties, means there is some problem. There should be difficulty for every good work. Should run into some trouble, some problem, some roadblocks. But be courageous, Justin. The Lord will be victorious, and we must have the sharpness of eyes to notice what is right, to discern what is right and what is wrong. Then what does the Pope mean by that? Means there is always temptation, there is always evil, there are always difficulties, but it is not because of the Vatican Council. This I can say categorically, having seen his work and now also having met his family and seen. I'm saying this because one of the interesting things I must share with you is his family told me that even as a Pope, he would write a letter to his family practically every day, the end of the day, and the family would, it was all spiritual advice of what they should do, how they should behave. Generally it was for the whole family, sometimes only for his brother and his wife, only for the parents, and then but if it was for everybody, so they would say the family rosary in the evening, and after the family rosary, they would publicly read his letters like a spiritual reading to sort of shows the depth of spirituality of Paul VI. I felt when I saw him also, I told my companions when I saw him from a distance, and that you could see the holiness in his face. You asked again one more question and answer that in the old rite of baptism, traditional rite involves 3 exorcisms conferred in the Archdiocese of Bombay. No, all my priests confer. In the rite has been revised. It is and we follow the new revised form, because that's the new form which is now operative in the Archdiocese. Let's go now to the more recent question.